So this is an old video that you're going to watch. I started filming in November 2023 and it took me a year to post. So these are all archived clips. Some of my thoughts might have changed, some might stay the same, but I'd like to post them because it's part of the journey and it's important to me, and they matter to me, and it shows the journey and shows different thoughts I was going through compared to now, I guess. But yeah, enjoy the video. Peace.
So I had some thoughts last night. I was going to record, but I didn't have the light on me. I didn't really want a video, just this top bit. So I'll say it now. Basically, I'm struggling with how to sort of manage stress. I think I've got these habits that have worked in the past where it's been quite easy to feel better, which then sort of lowers the stress levels. Eating nice food, just sitting down, watching Netflix, chilling and stuff like that on your phone, scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. That's all sort of habits that reduce my stress. And I'm torn between the two ideas. And the first idea is that just relax, just chill, just, use what you can to lower that stress. But then when they start falling into bad habits, like, people watch porn, people eat extremely unhealthy food, just like binging on chocolate and sweets and stuff like that. Like when it gets to that point, it becomes unhealthy, and you are borrowing tomorrow's time. What's the saying? What is the saying? You're borrowing tomorrow's time for today. And I think that's what those sort of stress releases do. And that's why you feel so stressed, because, come on, that's why you feel so stressed, because it's not actually, it might, it might feel like you're de-stressing when you're scrolling and, you eat the good food, because that you get the dopamine. And I think what happens is you just sort of, you up and down, you, you go up higher using these tools, and that's what makes you feel good, and it does relieve the stress. But I think the crash is just as bad, and I also think you're chasing more and more and more. You get used to whatever you're seeing. You watch one episode of Netflix, that does it for you. But then then after a month, you've got to watch 2 episodes of Netflix, and then after another month, you don't feel satisfied until you watch 3 episodes. And then sometimes I don't actually feel any satisfaction until I finish the season that I'm watching. So now it's over a couple of days, you're now de-stressing. Which I don't think we have to stop doing those things necessarily. I think you just have to manage them. I think you just got to manage how much you're scrolling on your TikTok. I think you got to manage how much you're watching Netflix. I think you've got to manage how often and how much you binge eating. But yeah, so there's that, and so do we use that form of de-stressing? Is that useful for us, or do we have to find better ways? Do you have to meditate? Do you have to? I mean, I don't actually really know other ways. Well, exercise. Do you exercise? Do you meditate? Do you sit in a sauna? Do a cold plunge? Is that the alternative de-stressors that you should be going for? And then do you do de-stressors that give you an accomplished feeling? Is that the answer? Because you're not getting that high. You're not getting that high and then getting the crash. You're getting sort of the high and then the high again. When you're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about what you're doing in life. You're a bit more proud of yourself. So you've not got that self-negative stress on you. Because I think the thing with stress is completely fine in life. Like, it's better that we have it than we don't have it, for sure. And I think the issue with stress is the build-up of stress. The little small things that are building on top of each other that you don't deal with because you're being a little bit of a bitch, where you're not sort of dealing with your issues, dealing with your stresses. You're not doing what you're meant to be doing. Whereas when you are doing what you're meant to be doing, you feel a lot better. You feel more accomplished. I do fight with that idea because sometimes I am like, well, you do just reset your baseline for hard, which is what you actually want to do, but then you don't really appreciate and you don't really notice the stress that you're going through that's now not a stress anymore. But I guess that is the idea, right? That you want to be least affected by the little amount of stress that you can. That's resilience. So I do believe that is the way to go. But is it an excuse, or is it realistic to say, what about just having fun, just relaxing? So I'm torn between relaxing and sort of being relentless in the world. And I just wonder, is it that there's a mix between the both, or if both are necessary, it's just the type that you're doing. And for me, I get down on myself when I'm feeling stressed and I'm using these methods that don't necessarily feel good. When there's an alternative, like exercise, like a cold plunge, like a sauna, like meditation, when I sort of know that these methods are actually going to help me. So, you start getting that guilt. And is it that my mind's trying to trick me and say, no, these are the easy ways of doing it. These are the fun ways. These are the better ways of doing, of relaxing, de-stressing, of enjoying life. And then other ways, that's too serious. That's too serious. You got to have fun. Sounds like an excuse when you listen to the voice. But also, part of me goes, you know what I mean? You do have to have fun at some point. And I also wonder if, because I've never done it the right way, I've never used exercise to de-stress. I've never used meditation to de-stress. I just wonder if you get into a rhythm of that, do you start enjoying yourself easier? Do you start, you don't reach this sort of high crash, because you realize the more beneficial way to de-stress is where you don't have that high and then crash. It's something I just think about all the time, basically. But yeah, that's it. Peace.